body to stray, but we shall walk beside the still waters with a good shepherd leading the way. Those who have strayed were sought by the Master, he who once gave his life for the sheep. Out on the mountain, he is still searching, bringing them home forever to keep. Going up home to live in green pastures, where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we shall reach that heavenly shore. We will not heed the voice of the stranger, for he would lead us to despair. Following on with Jesus our Savior, we shall all reach that country so fair. Going up home to live in green pastures, where we shall live and die nevermore. Even the Lord will be in that number when we shall reach that heavenly shore.
Welcome. Karen and Adam, we might need to pull in some extra pews. Thank you. So, hello, good evening. I'm Pastor Karen Perkins. I know a lot of you and not all of you. I want to thank you for being here, and I have some messages from Stephen's siblings that I will read a little bit later. And I wanted to let you know that tonight is really informal. It's so that we could gather, we could cry if we need to, we could pray if we need to, we can light candles if we need to. Really, it's so that we as a community who loved Stephen can gather and care about him. I imagine there will be a full memorial service from sometime later. But I want to just let everybody know that you're welcome to come and go as you like. And there will be food out there, so you're also welcome to have food and sit and talk and visit. And please tell stories. Telling stories is one of the best ways to remember people. So tell stories that you have about Stephen. These will get arranged. I want to let you know that we tried to set it up so that people could be online on the stream if you would like, but you also are welcome to speak and, oops, well, that one will need to be adjusted again. You're welcome to speak or read or pray or whatever off camera, also if you like. So right now, what the camera's focused on is this area right here, which means if you come and sit down in the love seat or the black chair there, then you can speak and you will be on the live stream, and that will be recorded. Also, the camera's going to come off the table right here. So if you want to come and light candles and not be on the camera, just your hands will be there. You're welcome to do that. And if you would like to speak from the lectern over here, you will not be on camera. And so I just wanted to make sure that everybody had the option to do what was appropriate for you. I think we're going to need even a few more pews. Come on in. And I'm going to start by reading one of my favorite Psalms. I mean, I'm not going to start, thank you, Kristen, for having started, but I'm going to read one of my favorite Psalms. Yeah, I'll need me to rearrange some things. Well, more pews are coming. Anyway. This is Psalm 97. The Lord is king. Let the earth rejoice. Let the many coastlands be glad. Clouds and thick darkness are all around him. Righteousness and justice are the foundation of his throne. Fire goes before him and consumes his adversaries on every side. His lightning lights up the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before the Lord of all the earth. And then from Psalm 91. You who live in the shelter of the Most High, who abide in the shadow of the Almighty, will say to the Lord, my refuge, my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, or the arrow that flies by day, or the pestilence that stalks in darkness, or the destruction that wastes at noonday. Because you have made the Lord your refuge, the Most High your dwelling place. No evil shall befall you, no scourge come near your tent. I'm also going to ask everybody to take these and put them on silent. And then for anybody who didn't hear me, you are welcome to come and go as you like. This is not a formal memorial service. This is an opportunity to get together and mourn the way you need to mourn. So for anybody who didn't hear me, the part that will be on the camera is from this table right here, so your hands will be seen if you're lighting a candle or one of the candles, and then all the way around the black chair and the love seat here. If you would like to be on the live stream, please come up and sit on the love seat or close enough to the mic so that you can be seen on the stream. If you would prefer not to be seen, you can stand here and speak or read. And I just really want people to feel free to come in and out as you feel appropriate. There is food out in the gathering area, and I want to invite you to keep the food out there, but you're welcome to have food, eat, and then please share stories. You can share stories in here, but you can also share stories out in the gathering area. Do what you need to do to remember our beloved brother.
So maybe I'll go ahead and take this moment. A friend of mine, handed me a poem that's for Steve. It says, I guess the only time people think of injustice is when it happens to them. Today, the air is thick with a shared sorrow, a community's grief that knows no age, no social status. It's felt by human and animal alike. My heart cries, untethered from the rational brain, as if my body moves through a fog, a heavy mist of loss. Juneau's loss ripples through us all, a special man and his beloved dog, an inseparable pair, bound by love that words can scarcely capture. Trauma isn't reserved for humans, and Juneau's pain is ours too. In the companionship of Steve and his sweet dog, we witnessed a pure love, a care that ran deep and silent, a bond that healed unseen wounds. Steve, a good man, gone too soon. His loss is like the ocean's tide, a constant ebb and flow, waves crashing every day. The community feels it, this ache that rolls in and out, forever changed by the absence of one who loved with quiet strength. In the end, it's love that remains, etched in the heart of a community, woven into the fabric of every day, and on the memories of a man and his faithful, loving dog.
That reminded me, Kristen, that some people have made offerings to contributions for Juneau. We do have a black container out there. We'll get a sign on it when we can. You can come in and sit on the stairs. We're informal tonight. We'll get a little sign on it, but if people do want to make donations, it'll be for the care of Juneau and Juneau Animal Rescue. And I don't know ultimately who will end up adopting Juneau, but I'm sure there are more than enough people who are interested in it. But that's up to you. It'll just so you know where any offerings that go in the black donation box will be for Juneau and Juneau Animal Rescue. And now I have a note from his brother. So this is from Jason Kissack. Thank you, and if you attend the vigil, please tell everyone that we are so grateful for the love you guys are showing for our brother, Jason, Monty, and Tom, his beloved family.
I'm sorry, it's just too silent. I can't testify of his death because I wasn't there, but I can testify of his life, the kind of person that he was. You know, he was somebody that, it's hard to ask for help, but he didn't get the help that he needed. And I feel like collectively as a society, all of this city failed him. And he was somebody that was always watching everyone's back, like even people that he didn't enjoy, he would give them food, give them blankets. And he was a good dude. I tried my best to help him, but there's a line you have to draw. It's how many people can you help before you're not helping yourself? I
love you, my friend.
Was heard a little something. Didn't know him well. It's a great loss. Thank you, Stephen. It was good to meet you. You were always nice to me. You didn't have a lot, but you shared what you had without asking for anything in return. I appreciate that. You showed me kindness. I'll always remember. You were so smart. I think you understood quantum mechanics. You dimmed your light so others would feel comfortable. You must have been frustrated. I hope you are at peace now. In another life, I believe you moved away from Juneau and lived much longer telling tales of this capital city's, excuse me. You and your dog Juneau have been pillars of the community. You wore a big coat and seemed intimidating, but I recall you recently in a more dapper attire. Life is so hard for smart people. The pressure to conform drives many to substance abuse, to escape, or simply dump themselves down to the level of common folk. You were so down to earth, kind-hearted, helpful, independent, sharing, caring, and respectful. I'll miss you a lot.
Stephen and I lived in this town for the same amount of time. Got really used to seeing him around, as many of us have. I think many of us have been inclined to help him. I remember this winter when it was really, really cold, and I was really happy to see so many people stopping by to help him. I think about him moving here and everything that transpired afterwards, and it's not so cut and dry, right? I think it's comfortable for us to think that people without houses made choices that got them there, and it's more of the system failing. And I think the system really failed yesterday. Sitting there at work, and I heard the gunshots and my coworkers screaming. I had this brief moment before I knew what was happening. I said, "Please don't be Stephen." And I looked out the window and saw Juneau. I'm really proud to see so many people here. I think that there needs to be more of a bridge to the gap that our society creates over and over again. And today there's a lot of hope in my heart, but I'm an optimist. So really, I guess, one more thing. I think this is my spirituality, but I think when someone dies, there's some time before they're totally gone. I think there's this transition period, and I think this time right now is really important for us to send his spirit so much love and peace. And I saw that today going to the 2 shrines that were being created, and I could really feel it in my body and my mind and my spirit that he could feel it too. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that's here. And I know that Juneau's going to get taken care of. And he said that, Stephen said that before he died, that he wanted Juneau to be taken care of, and I know he's going to be. Come on, Juneau, let's take care of each other.
You know, at first, me and Steve, we didn't get along. But we became good friends. And I loved him and I loved Juneau. And what happened to him, it shouldn't have happened. It's not right. The cops here, they're not right. What happened to Steve shouldn't have happened. He was a good friend of mine. And so was Juneau. I've seen what happened on the video, and it shouldn't have happened. He's a really good friend of mine. All I wanted to say is that nothing should have happened to him. And I'm so sorry, you guys.
I just wanted to send my condolences to Stephen's family. I didn't know him, but I know a lot of people, including myself, that's been through the life where he was living, and it's really hard because a lot of us know in this town that it's really hard, even when you really want to, and you have support, and you try really hard, and you go to so many places, and they're not there for you, and you try, and you tell them, and you beg, and you say you need help, and the kind of help that's needed is not up to par here. You know, a lot of people, some people think that they just don't try, or, you know, maybe they do things that people don't approve of, but it's really hard to be in a situation to live that way. And if you're not with your family, it's even harder. So my heart really goes out to his family, and it's good to see all of his friends here. I just really hope for change for people that need help. And some people can't help themselves. Some people do need to be active and help. Just do it. Sometimes you almost have to do it for that person because they're so far down that they need it. Just that one step of kindness, that one step of taking care of somebody, it goes a long ways. So I appreciate everybody that showed up for him. I wish I would have known him, but we really need to start helping our community. It's been hard because I don't want to get into my own story, but it's been 5 years of sobriety and going through every system in this town, and for thank you. But we need help still. I'm really sorry to see what happened to Stephen. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I didn't say thank you to all the people for showing up for him. He was a good guy. I appreciate all of you guys showing up here. I hope you guys have a good night. And we all loved him. And I'm sorry to the family. I don't know what else to say to you guys, but I'm sorry for your loss. It's our loss. I know that. And It's a rough one. But I appreciate everybody coming here today. I was only a friend, I wasn't family, but I still loved him. And I love everybody here for showing up. Thank you, guys.
Gunalchéesh. Hi, everybody. My name's Dave, and I, like Marilyn, have come here actually because I was compelled to. I didn't know Steve either, but I'm a person who's been in long-term recovery. For me, that means I've been in recovery for 7 years. Actually, 7 years on July 7th. So, no, it's okay. And it's really tragic to hear something like this happening in Juneau. You know, a lot of things were racing through my head. I too jumped to conclusions without having all the information. I understand that, and but I think that's just some of the old scripts in my head playing over and having interactions with the Juneau Police Department that wasn't so positive, you know, and. I felt like I had gotten unjustifiably mistreated. You know, not all the time. I mean, I was definitely had my fair share of trouble out there. You know, and I will own that. But I also know that things can go awry pretty quick when you're dealing with the homeless population. I too was down there homeless and uncertain, you know, about my life. And I didn't always have what Marilyn articulated earlier. I didn't always have that hand, you know, the hand that picks you up when you're down. And I can't tell you exactly what would happen if that were offered to me. I know that when the opportunity came and, you know, I got God into my life, that I walked through that door of opportunity. But not everybody has that window of opportunity. People like Steve, who has mental illnesses or you know, whatever, I don't know him and I don't want to assume anything, but many of the folks who are down there have this, you know, there's no way out. And it only takes a kind gesture and a loving hand to be able to lift a lot of these people up. I work for an organization that is, you know, is moving towards that direction. And, you know, we take people who are you know, who got these issues of dual diagnosis and of mental illness and addiction. But I'm living proof also that it can be done, you know. I haven't had the need for a drink or a drug in 7 years. And for me, that's a miracle. And so my reason for getting up here is I just felt compelled to come over here and to, you know, let folks know if you're struggling, there's a way out. I know it may not seem that way, but I can't imagine the feeling or the things that this must have played inside Stephen's head before he passed away, that he had to come to those extremes, and what led up to that situation. But there is a solution, and we can't do it alone. Absolutely not alone. And if anybody were to succeed at that, I thought I would, but I wasn't nearly strong enough. You know, I needed God, I needed you guys, so I needed my community. And my heart goes out to the friends and family of Steve. Thank you.
Like everyone else, prayers and condolences go to his family and friends. I didn't know about this until an hour ago when I drove through downtown and saw the shrines and asked somebody. But I was still kind of in shock from hearing this yesterday. You know, I didn't know Steve as well as a lot of you did. And there's a lot of people in this town that didn't know Steve, except they knew him because every time they drove, they'd see him in Juneau somewhere, right downtown. And funny, it kind of made you feel like, in a funny way, you're home. There's Steve and there's Juneau. I knew him, again, not as well as most of you or a lot of you. Our office is down by the Princess Dock, and I don't know, it's fall sometime. I go to work really, really early, and so Steve wouldn't have been awake. And I get out of the car and walk up towards the office, and there's someone sleeping and a dog. And okay. And so I just got used to Steve and Juneau being there each morning for a long time. And he was always very kind, and we had a few little discussions, and got to the point after a few months where I kind of get used to driving in and getting out of the car and walking, and Steve would be asleep, but raises her head up there and look, and I'd go on to the office, and you know, myself and colleagues, if we had food or a sandwich or something, we'd take it out there at some point. And it was always interesting because anytime we did something like that and gave Steve something to eat, or the first bite seemed to always go to Juneau. He'd break something off and hand it to the dog, you know. So, you know, it's shocking when I heard this yesterday, and then my colleague in the office said it was Steve and the dog, you know, and oh my gosh. But you know, one gentleman here, or a lot of you said it, that you know, in a lot of ways maybe society has failed him. Probably society fails a lot of folks like that, that don't have the opportunity. And I guess we just, and you think about a little town like Juneau, things like this shouldn't happen anywhere, but in Juneau it just doesn't seem like it fits at all. And so, again, to friends, family, it's shocking, it's awful. Nothing's good about this. And I know even after Steve moved on from our little site down there, I would get used to seeing him and through town. As you know, last week, you know, if I drove through town or went through town, there they'd be, and again, kind of felt good to see him there. But anyway, it's very sad, and if we as a society did fail him, then we should make sure we don't fail others somehow. There's got to be a way, and we need to find that way.
Gunalchéesh, for letting me speak. I've been in a daze the last 2 days. It's a day